It's been over a year since Honkai Star Rail was released, and I have been playing the game for over a year as well, missing only 11 days. There have been a lot of character releases in this time, and you might be wondering, did I make the right choices on who to pull for? Now let me start with the fact that it's just a game, and you should pull for characters you like. But of course, as with every game, some characters are better than others, which is why I wanted to tell you, if I could restart my Honkai Star Rail account, here's what I would do differently. Note, I am going to talk briefly about some of the bosses in the game, which can be a spoiler to the main story. I'm not going to cover anything about 2.2, but do mention some of the bosses from 2.1. I also assume that you only get one copy of a 5-star unless mentioned otherwise. So this is what my account is like currently. I've done a total of 1,342 pulls on the limited character banner and 255 pulls on a limited light cone banner. I am not free to play at this point, but I was until Fu Xuan's release, where I lost my 50-50 and then bought the monthly and battle pass. I also bought all the packs in the store once to get my topaz to E2. You can see I did manage to get her as a result. And if I can give the characters I have out of 10, with 10 being I can clear every piece of content easily and get the highest rating, I would be an 8. I overall don't struggle with most content, but some of the harder content can take me a few resets to do, and I currently lack one element weakness coverage, which is wind, sort of anyway, which is I'll go into a bit later. Now, the character I pulled for and used the least at this point in the game is honestly Seely. I used her a lot when she first came out, and I almost didn't manage to get her because I lost a 50-50 to Welt. Seely these days, though, is lacking in damage compared to many other choices, and the fact that she is a single target damage character also hurts her in many scenarios in which AoE damage is more favorable. I don't use Silverwolf that much as well these days, but I don't regret getting her at all. When I need her, she is the only solution to fixing the team comp, such as with the newest MOC against Aventurine. Without her implant, it would take a while for me to beat him. I just got Jingliu and Robin, so I haven't used them as much, but I know I will be using them a lot as I didn't have ice coverage before Jingliu, and Robin is going to buff my follow-up attack team even more. The biggest change I would do if I could restart playing Honkai Star Rail is getting Blade. At this point in time, the only damaging wind 5-stars we have are Black Swan and Blade. Black Swan is more of a debuffer than a traditional damage dealer. Not that that's a bad thing, it just makes it more awkward for damage coverage. You don't technically need a team for every element, as each enemy is weak to at least 2 elements. All elite mobs have 3 element weaknesses, so missing 1 or even 2 elements is completely fine in this game. Blade would be more of a safety net than anything. The characters I've tried to get but failed to do so were Luocha, Woho, and Sparkle. At this point in time, in terms of healers here, you really only need one or the other. What one is better to have depends. I would rather have Woho, but characters like Inhibitor Lue would much rather have someone who is SP positive. And I plan to get Sparkle on her rerun. I would argue if my 50-50 luck wasn't so bad that I could have gotten Sparkle, but here we are. I would have wanted Aventurine, but he's not needed if you have Fu Xuan. He buffs the follow-up attack playstyle, which I mainly use, hence why I would like him. Characters I've wasted my time leveling up have definitely been Yin Chang, Well, Donghong, and Serval, with Mark 7 and Luca a bit less as I didn't invest as much time into them compared to the others. I never use any of these characters. They are just not that impactful in my opinion. Welt is the best character out of this bunch, but not needed. Welt is just a case where he's too hard to build. I also probably spent too much time working on Yukong, who I only use with Donghong and Inhibitor Lue. The only issue with her is the fact that you need to have her speed to be slightly higher than your main DPS, and no other character in between this due to how Yukong works, and her E6 makes it a lot easier to use her as well, which I don't have. I didn't include Natasha on this list even though I invested a decent amount into her, but don't use her anymore because she was the only option at the beginning of the game. If you were to start right now, don't level Natasha at all. There are better healers to use at this time. Now looking back at all the banners, this is what I would have done for character banners. Based on my normal pull rate, I can guarantee 1 limited per patch as a monthly and battle pass user, and 1 light cone every 3 patches. Ironically, I think the first patch is the least important patch. Sealy has gotten damage crept based off the data I have seen, and Jing Yuang is fine, but there's no reason to use him over Acheron at this point. Acheron's ceiling is much higher than Jing Yuan's, and they are both AoE lightning characters. Yes, so there are some banners here I have in which you pull for both characters in the patch, but assuming the average 50-50 luck instead of my luck, I am sure that it would be doable to get these characters. For the standard banner, there are only 3 5-star units that are worth it in my opinion, and those characters are Clara, Bronya, and Himiko. If I were to try hard for my account, I would reroll until I got Clara as my starting unit in the beginner banner, and then choose Bronya on my 300 standard banner free pick. I did get Clara on the beginner banner and Bronya on the 300 standard banner pick. I did not reroll my account though. That was the luck of the draw that I got Clara as my first 5-star character. The only 4-star characters worth investing in at this time are Asta, Gallagher, Herda, Lynx, Pela, and Ting Young. Gwenephen is also good to use, but I have not used her since I got Black Swan. Yukong, as I said, is not needed, especially if I were to follow this pull plan and not get Dongheng Imbibitor Luwei. In fact, I only have Imbibitor Luwei because of a single 10 pull I did on my guarantee after Kafka's banner to try and get another Asta copy. Yes, you heard that right. That was probably a dumb decision in my part. I will also say I do not regret getting Imbibitor Luwei, it's just that I don't think you need him. With Dr. Ratio being given away for free, yes, Imbibitor Luwei is AoE damage instead of single target damage, but with the right team, which you will have if you follow this pull plan, you don't need him. The only enemy I use Imbibitor Luwei into is the Swarm True Sting and the Echo Week weekly boss, but I can clear this content without him, as you can see. These are the 5 main teams I would use. With the 4-star characters, I recommended that you level be changed depending on the circumstance. With these teams, you can beat any content in the game, and if you need to make some adjustments, then do it. Like, even though I don't use Silverwolf often, bosses like Stellaron Hunter Sam or Aventurine, which I need an element implant or I want a character who can break well, then I take Silverwolf and remove someone else. If I focused on these 21 characters and got all their traces to 10 and geared them well, then I think I would be in a better spot than I am now, but I still believe that I made the right choices and what characters to get 90% of the time. As I reflect back on my Star Rail journey, I realized that I mainly made good decisions for my account, but I know that I could have definitely made some better ones, and although no one can go back to 1.0 and start pulling again, I hope that this video gives you an idea on what characters to level up and what characters to focus on. And with all of that, I hope to see you at the next video.